This is truly the most unforgiving division. Hello, everyone. Welcome to After Action Report, your numbers recap show for all Schmoedown matches to keep you caught up on all the action. I'm your host, Megs, here for the Call to Action podcast channel. Today, we are going to be continuing our High Point series, moving into the Star Wars division. So again, to recap what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be walking you guys through history of when the High Point score was set in the division, and then also looking back over this past season and highlighting notable matches from the year. So as a reminder to you, as we start into the history of the Star Wars division and the high points records that were set, I am not including matches that ended in sudden death, and I also went only as far back as 2018. There were not that many matches in the Star Wars division really up until the 2019 season, and even 2020 was when it really exploded to where we had as many matches as we are now used to seeing. The format was different in those earlier seasons, particularly since many of the regular season matches were triple threats, fatal five-ways, or also there were Iron Man matches that were used in the Star Wars division. It was more of definitely a specialty division in those early seasons versus a staple in the league as it is now. So there's going to be a little bit of sparsity in those early seasons, but let's jump right into it. So jumping into the 3-round match format, the first instance that I found that wasn't a triple threat or a fatal five-way where the potential points differed because of the increase in potential competitors. The first match I found was Laura Kelly versus Andrew Demalanta. This was a number one contender match, and it ended with a high score of 28-24. Then we saw the record set in 2020 or season 7 with Ace Cabrera defeating Laura Kelly with a score of 31-29, which was a tournament semifinal. Now, to give you a perspective again, in the 3-round format of the current iteration of the Star Wars division scoring system, the max potential points, not including steals, is 31 points. And if you include the potential for steals, you can get a maximum of 33 points in the Star Wars division in the current 3-round format. Looking at the buzzer round format for the 5-round matches, we start off with Alex Damon setting the record against Ken Knapsack 27-25 there in Season 5. He beats his own record again in Season 6, facing off against Joseph Scrimshaw 33-29. Then we fast forward into 2021 in this past spectacular with Thomas Harper facing off against Nikki Demolanta, setting a new record 36-35. And to give you a perspective, the maximum potential points in the buzzer round format of the 5-round matches is 39 points. Now we'll move into the fast money round format of the 5-round matches, which only include the 2020 and 2021 seasons. We started off with the first match in Season 7, which was Ace Cabrera facing off against Andrew Demalanta. This was for a tournament final, and that final score was 36-35. Then the record was broken by Alex Damon facing off against Andrew Demalanta for the second time. Andrew Demalanta came off with the second win there with a score of 38-37. That was for the titles. And then we had another tournament final with Thomas Harper facing off against Gold Leader, final score being 44-42. Now that is a perfect 100% accuracy, 100% potential points, which is the highest that you can have in the fast money format. So currently, this current record in the fast money format is 44, and that is the highest potential points. So let's jump right into the matches that I found of note in Season 8. Not surprising, the first match that came up was Alex Damon versus Andrew Demalanta, the first match, which ended with a final score of 51-50. This match went 7 questions deep into sudden death, and leading up to sudden death, both competitors were perfect, 100% accuracy, 100% potential points. This was the fast money format, so they were able to get all the potential points in that speed round. It just came down to 1 question and 1 point that separated these two. So moving into our next match, this was Andrew Demalanta versus Thomas Harper for the title. And this one was a 41-40 match, and it actually is the highest score for a title match up to this point. However, in this year, it was beaten by Thomas Harper facing off against Gold Leader for the tournament title, which I highlighted earlier in the video. The next match I want to highlight is Alex Damon versus Nikki Demalanta. Now, the score was not particularly a high one. It was a 21-19 score. However, this was an interesting match because both of them ended up with spinner's choice. The difference being that Nikki was able to come away with 10 points inside of her round, while Alex Damon was only able to come away with 5 points. So both of them getting spinner's choice. One of them, it didn't turn out the way that they expected. So again, something very interesting from a statistical standpoint with the added influence of having spinner's choice present for both competitors. Now, I will note that the current high score for the 3-round matches, the 31 points that I pointed out earlier, was tied twice by Gold Leader inside of this year. We had it happen when he faced off in May as well as in June. So the 3-round match high point score was tied by the same competitor, Gold Leader, twice inside of this season. So did I miss any matches from this past year? Leave it in the comments if you think there are other notable matches from this past season. And that's going to do it for this week's episode. But don't worry, I'm going to be right back next Monday doing the next installment of the High Point series focusing on the IG division. Be sure to check out all the other videos that we have here on this YouTube channel, as well as the shows that we do over on our Twitch channel. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you have that notification bell hit so you're made aware every time we drop new videos on this channel. Also, please feel free to leave comments on this video or at the socials that are listed in the description of this video. And speaking of socials, the link to this episode and the graphics that I present during this episode will be posted on the Facebook pages for Call to Action and the Movie Trivia Schmodown, as well as on the Twitter page for Call to Action. Until next time, for the entire Call to Action podcast channel, I'm your host, Megs, and this is After Action Report, signing off.